Okay. That is the
So
end.
that will be
Right.
miscommunication. So the
That's
medium
right.
has to be common between the
Yes.
sender
Sender
and the
and the
receiver,
receiver.
and that will make the process of communication takes place successfully.
Okay,
Okay.
so here by language, we don't mean language as in Hindi, English, Gujarati, French. We mean a common medium.
That's
Or we
right.
mean a
Exactly,
medium.
exactly. One more thing.
Yes.
One more thing here. Look at the slide, please. I want to introduce you two new words. Encoding. This is the word. Let us understand the word encoding. The process of selecting and formulating the information to be conveyed. Fine.
Okay.
Friends, the students, could be this word is new to you. Let us understand this word first. Doesn't the word encode resemble with the word enrich? En actually is a prefix.
Prefix, that's
okay?
right.
That makes the noun a verb. Encode means you are coding something. It means you are putting your idea into language, any kind of language that may be.
It could be like a
Pin
pin
code?
code or
Yeah,
something.
pin
Oh
code,
yes,
that's-
I just.
When you
touch
put
wood,
a
yes.
pin code, say for an example, actually you are mentioning the address.
Postal index number, right?
Okay, you're putting the address by pin code. So
That's
it's a
right.
secret code. We understand the word secret code. Barcode is there. That
Okay.
is also a
Yes.
message,
The word
right?
barcode.
Isn't it?
Right.
So the code means you are coding it, encoding some message into a particular language, and you are
Alright.
sending it.
Okay.
Okay. So, in a more simple manner, we send the mobile text messages, for example. Right? So when we enter the text,
Yes.
that is encoding the message, and you are sending it.
Okay.
Encoding is like a box is there.
Okay.
You put your idea into it, close the box. Now closing the box is encoding it.
That's
Okay.
right.
That's
You
simple.
courier it,
Yes.
that is sending it.
Yes.
Say for an example, Rebecca, I am sending you a courier and you are receiving it.
Okay.
You receive the courier, I'm in the box, you open it, and you take the idea, the
Oh,
meaning behind
that
it.
is-
That is decoding. Look at the
Decoding.
slide, please. The definition of decoding is the process of understanding the meaning of the information conveyed. Again, meaning is very important. In communication, it's a process of transferring the meaning. Okay? Until and unless the receiver understand the meaning of what I'm saying, the communication is not called a successful communication.
So meaning is the vital.
Meaning is
vital.
important.
Meaning is transferring of meaning is very important.
And understanding the same meaning is even more important. Because
Exactly. Now look at the communication process slide, please.
Okay.
okay, this is a complete.
This is the complete process of communication on your slides, friends. Look at the first block, which says in red letters, idea. Idea is the origination of the message that the sender wants to send. The first thing which comes to the mind of the idea and which he wants to communicate.
And that idea again is put in a box. That is encoding it in any language. That encoding could be verbal, that encoding could be non-verbal, and then it is sent.
Okay.
Then the message is formed. After the message is formed, as in you need to formalize and structure the message.
Okay.
Whatever ideas come to our mind, we usually don't just put all the ideas across.
Okay.
We need to form the message. We need
With
to
the help
do
of
structure.
words, languages,
words,
sentence.
languages, symbols, signs, whatever.
Okay. And then we come to the channel or medium. This channel or medium can be speech, it can be a text message as Sir just talked about, or it can be a written message, oral,
Even
it can be
chatting.
even chatting can
Yeah,
be a
absolutely.
message. So the sender will select any of the unlimited mediums or channels available for sending that message across.
Okay. And then finally, the message is received. The box is received. I've just
Exactly.
received it. I'm not opening it. So the box is received. That is receiving the message.
Okay, allow me to open it now.
Okay, all yours.
So when you receive the box, you open it. Means you take out the meaning out of the box, and that is what we call decoding. You know what happens? Sometimes if I mention a word like black box, students, to you. Say for an example, I am using the word black
Black
box.
box.
Now some of you understand what black box is, some of you don't. Now those who understand that black box is a device
Used
which
in
which records the data in
Often.
aircraft, in planes and all that, they understand what I meant when I said black box. But what happens, those who don't those who are not familiar with the word black box, means in past they haven't come across the word black box, for them it was a new word. Means they received the courier,
Okay.
All right.
they opened it, but couldn't make out a meaning out of it. So that we can say that they could not decode the meaning. So meaning is not transferred here.
All right.
Okay.
That
And-
means after the decoding process, after opening the box, understanding the meaning, what do we arrive at, friends? We arrive at the original idea which the sender wanted to send to us. Am I right, sir?
Okay. And how do we ensure that the sender and receiver have understood the same message?
Okay, for that we have the most important function being performed. On your screens you can see it, feedback. Unless and until
That's
this
important.
receiver tells the sender that I have understood, and now either I'm going to take action or I'm not going to take action on whatever you've told me, unless and until the receiver gets back to the sender, the communication process does not get over. So feedback is one of the most important processes or stages in the process of communication.
Absolutely.
Is this almost like what happens in class when we are delivering a lecture?
Huh,
You think
exactly.
you've really done your best and everything is perfect, and then you ask the class to respond and give answers.
Sometimes
And
they
then
do,
some
sometimes they
proactive
don't.
students would raise their hand and answer, whereas the other would still give us a feedback
Absolutely.
by
And
looking
some
at
of
their
them send
watch.
SMS.
That
Some
does
of them
happen.
would look even
Yeah,
at
you're
their
right.
watches, so
Or
we
they
know.
would frown, nod, shake their head, and just try and give a feedback to us. So it's not necessarily, it does not
Necessarily.
involve words. It also means
Okay.
symbols, signs.
It's a very wide term, absolutely.
Now,
It
friends,
is.
in order to demonstrate the entire process of communication, which we just showed to you on the slide, but in order to show that to you in a much better way, what we have in our studio, we have our young students in the studio from LD Arts College
That's very
and
good.
from Sri Narayan Commerce College, Ahmedabad, who are going to demonstrate before us the entire process of communication. So, shall we have them explaining to us with examples the entire process of communication? Over to the students in the studio.
Wow, that's great.
Begin.
Students.
Oh, I think they're all gearing up. They're all gearing up for
Good that
this.
they're gearing up.
Yes, that's nice.
That's
But
very,
really
good. That's very live example of it.
All right, shall we begin?
She's idea. Okay.
Whoopee! Hey, I am the idea. In fact, I have an idea of celebrating college days in a very different way. Whoopee!
Whoa! I am Encoding. I suggest this year we should celebrate our college days on the moments of Indian freedom struggle. Jai Ho!
Hi, I'm Message Formation. I must talk to the principal and convince him to celebrate the days of various movements of Indian freedom struggle.
Hello everyone, meet me. I am medium or channel. You can take my help in so many ways. I can be used in speech, in written way, in phone call, in SMS, or in notice.
That's very good.
That's nice.
Lovely.
Beep beep, beep beep, beep beep. Oh, message received.
message received.
The sender says we must celebrate the college days on the various movements of the Indian freedom struggle. Beep beep, beep beep, beep beep.
She
That's
forgot
very
the
nice.
weave.
Hi, I'm Decoding. There's a demand this year that the college days be celebrated in a different way. So, a particular student has suggested that we celebrate them on the basis of Indian freedom struggle. Ding, ding, ding.
Whoopee! Hey, it's me again. The original idea of celebrating college days in a different way. Whoopee!
Hooray! Hi friends, I am the one of the most important part of communication process.
Important part.
Yes, I do agree in celebrating the college days in some different ways. No, I don't agree to celebrate the college days in some different ways. Hooray!
Oh, that's
Rebecca,
nice.
That's
Some
very
people
good. They
clapped
need a
them,
big hand,
they did a
everybody.
very,
That's
very
wonderful,
good.
really.
It was
Thank
really
you,
nice.
thank you.
I'm sure all our students have understood.
Our young
the
friends
process of
demonstrated the
communication.
entire process with a live example.
Very nice.
The original idea was to celebrate the college days in a different way. Each one of them then became a process, a stage in the process of communication, and finally we had the energetic feedback who gave us both the negative as well as the positive feedbacks.
Yeah, that
was
gentleman
excellent.
was very right when he said that feedback is very important. in communication unless and until you get feedback. You know, if you don't get feedback means you are not decoded the message, you are not understood the message. So how will we get the feedback? When do we get the feedback? When the students in your class are listening to you, then they will give the correct feedback to you, otherwise not. So listening, I'm coming to listening, that listening is extremely important in communication. Generally we think how to be a good communicator. Say for an example, we always think that to be a good speaker is good communicator. As a matter of fact, listening is more important even than speaking while we are talking about the communication.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And that's why, you know, listening is more crucial even than speaking. Let us look at the slide, please. This is what the feedback is termed as, the receiver's response to a message. Now, usage of business communication channels. You know, they say in business, generally we do listening 45%, reading takes place of 16% only, the speaking takes 30%, and writing takes 9% only. So you can see from the chart that listening is extremely important.
Extremely important.
Yeah, very important.
Even more than speaking, eh?
More than
Yeah,
speaking,
more than
absolutely,
speaking.
absolutely.
Okay, that brings me to a question, sir.
Yeah.
Well, we have understood the communication channels. I mean, we have understood the percentage of listening and speaking, but we now come to a formalized business communication.
Absolutely.
You use the word business communication.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you, what is business communication particularly?
Okay. Look at the slide, please.
All right.
The commercial communication used to promote a product, service, or organization, relay information within the business, or deal with legal and similar issues.
Okay.
Now that's what the business communication means.
Okay, so it's used to promote a product, a service, or an organization. It's almost like advertisements.
Advertisement.
It is
Yes.
almost
Yes,
like an
because that is what
advertisement.
happens. Okay.
But
Or
my
do-
question
yes.
again is, why do we need it?
Why do we need communication in an organization?
Yes. What
Or
are the
let's-
advantages?
There are some advantages of it.
Alright.
Okay.
First, let's discuss the purpose of business
Okay,
communication
alright. Okay.
or commercial communication.
Okay, purposes for business communication. Let's come to the first one on your screen. Provide factual information. For example, there is some notice. Let us suppose the managing director is coming to the office for a visit. That is a fact which needs to be communicated to the entire staff of the office. So for that, you need to communicate. You need to tell the employees the MD is coming.
I absolutely agree. And the
I do.
next is clarify and condense information. Now, clarification is important because you have a lot of misunderstandings springing up in the office. In a kind of a competitive environment today,
Okay.
there are like big chances of people there being miscommunication in office. So if you clarify your communication, if you indulge in a clear communication, there are less chances of anything going wrong. And the other word that is the catchword is the word condense. Now, in an office, even from 9 to 5, and we all know that we don't have 8 hours, and we don't have 8 hours anymore. We work for
10
about
hours.
12 to 16 hours even at times.
Yeah.
We have a lot of time which is being spent after productive work. And in that time, if we waste time communicating, lengthy communication, I think it is a loss to the organization. So we need to condense, make our communication even more crisp. Because when we talk in a day-to-day thing, I can
That's right.
chat to you on the phone for hours
Right.
together,
Right.
discussing shopping and discussing movies. But in an organization, we need to keep in mind that short and crisp, precise information needs to be communicated.
That's right. In that case, we come to the third purpose for business communication, and that is stating precise responsibilities. In an organization, when the team leader needs to get something done, there are areas where A is very good, there are areas where B is very good, areas where C is very good. In that case, the team leader will call all the three, A, B and C. A will be asked to gather information, B will be asked to sit on the computer and type it, and C will be asked to call up people and invite them for the meeting. Now, this is called stating precise information, giving responsibilities to people. in order to give responsibility, if I want, for example, to send a student down to the staff room, get me some chalks, get me a duster, I have to assign that particular communication, that particular task to
way.
him.
Yeah.
That is known as stating precise responsibilities.
In fact, that also ensures a healthy environment in an organization. Because if
Exactly.
everybody knows what their task is,
Exactly.
then there's no argument, there's no miscommunication, and it will ensure a healthy.
That's right. We come to the last purpose of communication then.
That is persuading and making recommendations. Now, every time you can't order somebody to work, so you have to get them to work. We have a slide especially on persuasion coming later, and about also making recommendations. Every person in an organization has the right to make certain recommendations. You cannot order your boss, of course, but you can always make a
For the
recommendation.
last time you can.
Oh yes, if it's the last day in your office, you can do whatever. But otherwise, you can make recommendations to improve the working of an office. Or for example, if you're simply signing in the register every day, and then you have a better option to it of having those cards which you
Okay.
can punch in.
Yes.
Maybe these recommendations can also be given to the higher ups as well,
Oh, yeah.
to ensure.
That brings me, Rebecca, to a very important point. We have understood the process of communication fairly easily. We had a demonstration by our young friends as well. Now, that brings us to a very important part of communication. I'm sure process of communication is important, but then equally important are the different ways and patterns of communication, particularly in a business environment, particularly in a business organization.
Whether we
Now, for
talk
example,
about, you know,
yes,
yeah,
sir.
go ahead, please. You finish it first.
For example, if I have an idea in a business organization, I can't simply pull up the phone and punch the numbers of the managing director and call him up and tell him, see, I have this idea.
Absolutely.
All right, that can't be done. Therefore, in every business organization, there necessarily has to be a structured, formalized way, pattern of communication. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. As you asked earlier also, why communication? There are some advantages of it. Though we are talking about the business, we talk
Yes.
about our life itself. Both the ways, advantages of communication are still there.